The following conversations with my good friend Anu Singe. We go over his upcoming South Island adventures, us visiting Gloriavale, Anu's childhood in India, his transition to the New Zealand way of living, his gym journey, view on steroids, racism, Jiu-Jitsu, and much more. So if you enjoy this, please subscribe, and thank you for listening. Tell me about your upcoming trip down south. Where are you heading?
Yeah, man. So I recently booked that out of nowhere. Obviously going through a lot of ups and downs at the moment, and I always wanted to connect with nature. Something that I kept putting off, and I didn't want to put it off anymore. I recently been getting into like all these like healing things of like crystals and like emotional healing stuff. So I did a Reiki session not long ago. It was a couple of days ago now, and I was a bit skeptical about it because I was like, men don't sort of do that, and like, you got to toughen up and all this other stuff. So went into it very open-minded. Like I didn't expect anything, didn't want to go for like, oh, they will fix me, or like I'll find my purpose, because that's something that I've been struggling with, is like purpose. And I've always said I want to connect with nature this year. And there's something that she said at the end was like, I kept seeing snow. Like, is there something you've been doing, like skiing or snowing? And I was a bit sketched up. I was like, no, like, what do you mean?
So was this like who was she? Was she like a fortune teller sort of thing?
No, so she does Reiki. I don't understand too much about it, but it was like a sense of thing. Like I want to try it because my manager at work is so into it, so spiritual, and so connect with energies and this and that. I was like, oh, I sort of want to try it. Like, why not? Like,
give it a go.
I wanna, give it a go. Like, be open minded about it, because I've always been like, like that doesn't work, sort of thing.
What's the word you use? Reiki.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So they focus on like opening up energy points, essentially. Like apparently there's like 7 chakras on you, and sometimes they have blockages and things like that. So I've been doing meditation with like crystals, and it opens up your third eye and all this other stuff that I've been learning about. And I was really scared when I first tried it with the crystal of meditating, and I was like, I literally felt like I was pulsing. It was like someone was pushing. It's like a heartbeat.
True.
I was like, okay, that's not right. Like, what's going on? Like, am I going crazy, sort of thing? So I thought I tried it, and then she kept like coming back into it. She kept saying snow, and I was sketched up, and I was like, oh. She's like, it's something's telling me that you need to be at high altitude and hills, and you want to express yourself in nature. And I was like, no fucking way.
That's exactly what you want to do.
Exactly what I wanted to do. And I wanted to do this on my birthday. I wanted to plan a trip and go to Huckabelly track, and then do a few hikes and camp or stay in the huts. But I couldn't do that because I had to renew my license, and that didn't come in time. So I couldn't do it. And I was gutted about that. And I was like, okay, as soon as I get my license back, I can hire a car and then I can do it. And that was like her confirming that I can do it. And then I was like, okay, sweet. I've got no issues now. I've got my license. I want to book it. I want to get it done. So I got home that night and I was like, booked. Yeah.
So you booked a ferry with your car?
No. So I've booked a flight there, and I'm gonna hire a car at Nelson and then drive down. Yeah. So I'll definitely need some tips from you.
Yeah. No, that's me. So you're gonna go straight to Nelson Lakes?
Yeah, straight to Nelson Lakes, and then do the hike. Maybe stay there a couple of nights. But I want to see if I want to book a hut or take my tent out, or like
There's a hut at the top, Lake Angelus. I'm guessing that's where you will go.
Yep.
Lake Angelus hut. I was actually looking at it this week. There's 3 routes to go up. There's the I think it's the route. No, it's not the route. But the Robert Ridge track. So that's the main route up, which I think takes 6 hours roughly.
Oh wow.
But there's also the Speargrass and the Cascade. And the Cascade is like the Hundies version. which if it's snowing, it'll be like ice, low-key glaciers,
Oh wow.
don't do it sort of thing.
Yeah.
When we went up actually on one of them, it was real bad weather, and we got to the hut, and there's always, like professional hikers up there.
Yeah.
And they were saying like, oh, where are you guys going? Are you going back down Speargrass or Robert Ridge? Like not even putting on the table the Cascade. And we like had all talked about it. We're like, we're planning on going down the Cascade. We're like, nah, fuck, no way. Like you'll literally die.
Yeah.
So I guess you just got to choose the weather. If there's no snow or ice, do it. It's amazing.
Yeah.
But otherwise, both other routes are mean.
So you, roughly around 6-7 hours, is that how?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They all say 6 hours, I think, on the doc website. Yeah, 6-7 hours. You just take your time, go up.
True.
Pretty amazing views on the way up. And then, like, especially when you get to the top with that lake.
Yeah, man.
It's beautiful.
That's exactly what I wanted to do. Like what Elliot said as well when he went for his walk, and all he could think of was like no sounds, no noise, and he could just think of anything, clear.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I feel like I need in my life at the moment. Is like cut out of all the noise, be in nature, and just I don't know, just be present. Yeah, away from technology, away from everything. Yeah.
And you can be at peace, I guess, up there.
Yeah, man.
It's weird because if you go out like hunting or whatever, even now you can hear the birds. When you get to a certain altitude, like Lake Angelus, there's no birds. So
Yeah,
it's literally just peaceful.
Quiet.
Yeah, obviously if it's windy or whatever, you hear the wind. But on a calm day, you're just sitting there. It's nothing. It's just like you and the lake.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
But if you've been practicing meditation and stuff, well, I mean, what better place to try and meditate than there? Sit there on those like amazing landscapes.
Nature, yeah, man.
Literally in the heart of it. On the tent thing, we took a tent and we did tent around the lake, and then this dock ranger came up to us. This was the first time we went. We were with Louis, and he came over. Bro, we had a big day, like big mush up there. We were all fucked. And then he comes over and he's like, oh, you guys aren't allowed to set up a tent here. You have to go like 1K over there. You're not allowed to tent within 1K of the lake.
Oh,
blah,
wow.
blah, blah. And we were like just right next to the lake. And I mean, Louis just kindly told him, mate, we're not moving. Like everything's set up. We've just spent the whole day. There's no way we're going to walk a K that way when we've got this perfect spot here.
Yeah.
And I guess he just wasn't in the mood for a big confrontation, so he sort of just let us be. But I think technically that's the rules. You're not meant to. But I know,
true.
I know other people have. But the hut's cool. You'll meet cool people if you go stay in the hut, if there's other people doing it.
Yeah. I think that's, I've never done this by myself. Like, I've never done anything by myself pretty much. So it's going to be a crazy experience. I might, be in my head a lot, like, things to clear up a lot. So looking forward to it. Something that I really wanted to do, something to put myself through like an uncomfortable position to really find myself sort of thing. Yeah. So it'll be good.
I reckon it'll be awesome. And like, hopefully you meet some people and then chat away, make new friends sort of thing.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Everyone, like, that's the part I like about my job, is meeting new people and learning about their story. And you never know who you're gonna find or like what you're gonna hear from them. Like,
exactly,
it's just beautiful, man. Yeah.
And it's people on the same wavelength as you. I always say, like, I think we talked about this, but like modern day era of looking for a partner, it's like people go nightclubbing or whatever, but I guess like what sort of girl are you gonna find in the clubs? To like maybe go join a running club or something instead, where it's like people on the same wavelength as you. Just the way you got to do it these days, I guess.
Yeah, man.
So it's cool. So you're gonna do Hooker Valley track as well on this trip, or was that gonna be
not
a
on this trip? Nah, I've got a couple of days, so I'll just go up, maybe stay a couple nights. Just want to get used to the first night, and then probably relax, and then second night could be just peaceful little hikes up and down. But yeah, just that for now.
Yeah.
I really want to do like a actual longer, maybe a week down south. Maybe hire like a camper van or something like that, and then just drive around, because I want to do Milford again. Because that place, something about it.
It's
like
amazing.
I just love it. Every time I go there, I close my eyes, being lost. Like, you just feel so little in those waterfalls and like the hills, and so much peace, man. It feels like I can connect better with hills and brings me peace, and I feel like I can ask stuff or just say it out loud, or it just feels nice. Yeah. So
I find it puts a little bit of your life into perspective, because you think you you are the center of your own world, I guess. Like you're the main character of your story, but you think of all these problems, blah, blah, blah. And then you see these giant, massive landscapes and you're like, I am actually nothing, you know, like there's these amazing sculptures and then there's just me with my little problems that I think about.
Yeah, man.
I think they're so enormous, but they're not.
Yeah.
How many times have you been to Milford?
4 times.
Oh, wow.
4 times.
Quite a lot.
Yes. Yeah. I think a couple times I went with you. 2 times I went with you.
I was trying to remember how many times we went.
Yeah.
So we've been twice.
We went twice. And one with mum and dad and one with my ex-partner.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And it's cool too because no matter the season, you're in for an amazing experience.
Yeah.
If it's raining, there's 100 waterfalls. If it's sunny, it's just like amazing views.
Yeah.
If it's snowing,
Colours.
it's beautiful. Especially good going through that tunnel, that Homer tunnel. That's pretty amazing.
That scares me all the time. I'm like, when it's going to be the time that it's going to collapse.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to be in it. Like, you know. So...
I've had a few cool experiences too. I went with Monies and we stopped right before the Homer tunnel and it's quite a high altitude. So we got out and there was like snow everywhere and there's like Kias flying around.
There's
like,
always Kias there, eh?
Yeah. And when you're in your rental, you don't really care. So they like land on your rental and they're like picking your car apart and it's like funny.
Yeah.
But if it was your car, you'd probably like, get off. What are you doing?
But they're real smart. I feel like they know that's like the food spot. We're gonna get some food, you know. So they just come in, wait by the lights, just come on your side mirror, sitting there waiting for food, and people just feed them food. You know.
Yeah,
It's
it's almost like they crave attention too. It's like they
yes.
know that people watch them, and it's like they're putting on a show.
Yeah.
You know, like it's pretty funny. When I did my hunt with Les and Mount Cook, we got real high up. We're hunting tar, and bro, there was so many Kias. There was like 30 Kias around us.
Wow.
And yeah, this is where Les, I guess, has been on so many high altitude hunts that he sort of gets annoyed with them because they come in, they're like trying to pick at his rifle and like, you know, they're just trying to like pick at your bag. And they actually put a hole in one of my game bags.
Oh, wow.
Which has been annoying. So now I've got like a hole in my meat bag. But I'm at the stage where I'm still so fresh that I just found it cool. I was just taking photos and videos and stuff.
No, that is beautiful, man. Yeah. Beautiful bird.
Well, we should go on some more South Island adventures too sometime. We can line it up when I'm next down there.
Yeah.
Makes it easy.
I loved it doing stuff like that. Like I think I've explored more of the South Island with you than anything like.
Yeah, we've done heaps of trips.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
We actually, do you remember going to Gloriavale?
Yep.
You're my only mate that I've ever taken there. It's Gloriavale.
Really?
I've been there a lot of times, but
yeah.
what was your experience with it?
I mean, I was a bit. I don't know much about it, so going there and actually experiencing it, like seeing it, and then you like telling me about it. Because when you told me about it, I was like, nah, can't be. Like people can like do whatever they want, sort of thing. But going there, I was like, oh my gosh, wow!
Different
like
world.
there's this village. Like people don't leave. Like people make their own food. It was beautiful to just see how they live, and it didn't feel like how people think it is like.
People definitely shit on them.
Yeah.
And I don't think, it doesn't seem like that, like you say, when you go there.
Yeah. Oh, you definitely, it's a different experience. I was doing a comp prep at that point and my brain was just not working. So I just like, had my own little meals. Like I still remember us driving back and you were driving through potholes. Like there were so many potholes and my brain just couldn't figure out. I didn't have enough capacity in my brain to like figure out where you were going. Usually you don't think about stuff like that. Yeah, I'm like, oh, is it gonna turn left, right? And then I would be like stressed out, like, what the hell's going on? Sort of thing. Well,
that road is real bad because when you're out in the country, you're just like dirt road for almost like an hour before you get back to the main highway. But it was funny because I remember they gave us those mean food packages, but you couldn't eat any of it.
Yeah, she was real nice, man.
Yeah.
Like she always had like lunch for you, or like you always used to tell me like she would pack up stuff. I think it was like honey that you had as well.
Yeah,
like
man. They make their own Manuka honey. They make everything themselves. Yeah. So they have like this amazing apple juice that they make, and they gave me an apple juice and a little thing of honey and like lunch. They gave me like a chicken roll or something.
It was like a boutique, like staying at a boutique hotel. Like how they gave it to you. It was like a little. Oh, that was nice.
They were I think they're open to people that are going there like with genuine intentions. Like obviously if you go in there and you're just like a reporter trying to get like, I don't know, some clickbait articles. But for me, I've actually gone there when they put on one of their shows and they've like offered for me to stay the night and stuff because it was quite late and it's in the middle of nowhere. I politely declined it and drove through to Christchurch. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool what they do. And even I remember telling them that your parents owned a restaurant, and then she wanted to show us through their big commercial kitchens and stuff.
We went in.
Yeah.
We went in. Yeah, that was nice. Yeah, yeah.
And she was explaining how they get kids from, was it like India and maybe like Chile or somewhere? Do you remember her? Yeah, she was saying like they actually adopt like kids, I guess, in third world countries that have rough lives, and they bring them to their village. And
True. I wonder how that's. I guess that's good for them. I guess like a better life.
Probably good for their gene pool, like to get a bit more people in, like legit.
Yeah, different. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
I watched the documentary. There was a recent one that came out. Obviously going into it with the perspective of I know that the media is very one-sided and shits on them, and not to say that it's all false. Like there's definitely some things wrong with their community, like any communities.
Yeah.
But the sad part was the third part is they actually did expand into India, so they have a Gloriavale in India now, and the documentary was pretty much following this girl trying to track down her sister. So she left Gloriavale, she left like the church or whatever, and then her sister was one of the ones that signed up that went to India. So they were trying to track her down, got to the village in India with like camera crew and stuff, and it was pretty sad.
Yeah.
Like living conditions were really bad. Yeah, just like for example, no door on the toilet, and like she didn't have access to her passport, so it's like the dude had her passport locked up, and not like she could leave anyway because she at that stage she had like 5 kids or whatever she had to look after. But it was pretty sad. That part was sad.
Yeah.
It almost felt like they were trapped there.
Yeah. I guess if not too sure, like some people don't have it. I mean, most people don't have a out, right? Like, because if they're born there, that's all they know, and then that's all there is to them. Yeah. Whereas, yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. Like,
I think that's the main criticism towards Gloriavale is like they don't let their people, I guess, go out and explore and then decide for themselves. But nowadays, I actually do see them more and more just in Greymouth or like in Christchurch, just in the streets, like still in their Gloriavale outfit. So clearly they are letting some people out and about. But yeah, it's an interesting one. People love to criticize them.
Yeah, yeah.
They act like, I guess there's nothing wrong in our world, but there's plenty wrong in our world. Yeah, they criticize them for the way they live. Like obviously they must have some elements that I personally think are wrong as well. But man, last time I went there was like kids with little bow and arrows, like shooting, running around happy. Like the mums are with all their children. Like everyone seems happy from the outside.
Yeah. How do they run the place? Like obviously they didn't money or
yeah, I think they have a lot of money, bro, because they own dairy farms. They own like a honey farm. And
I guess they export it.
Yeah, they export it.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Quite a lot too. I think they maybe even export a lot to China as well.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But they're getting smashed right now in the courts for court cases, which potentially could, I don't know, make them go broke, and then who knows what will happen to them.
Yeah, then they won't be able to run it.
I think it's ex-members saying like when they were kids, they had to work. So they're chasing up like back pay of potentially like, like millions of dollars that they didn't pay their children because they were working in the laundries or in the kitchens or whatever.
Oh shit! Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, that's what most children do, don't they? Like just help her around the house and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah,
yeah. I don't know the extent of how bad it was, but I wanted to ask you about your life growing up in India and what was it like, and also where were you born?
I was born in Goa.
Born in Goa.
Born in Goa. Well, life in India was a bit different to what it is over here. The first memory I obviously remember is my mum and dad. I was thinking this like a few weeks ago. Like first memory I remember is mum and dad dropping me at school for the first time. And so it was a like private school.
Five-ish?
Yeah, just before 5. Because we start early in India. They just get you freaking learning maths straight away. They numbers thrown at you. But I remember, man, like they dropped me off and I just felt like they abandoned me, sort of thing. And I still remember I had this bottle. My water bottle was like hanging on my neck, this huge water bottle, and I had a backpack that was like a rectangle on my back. Sure. So, and I'm this short, like I was Yeah, and then I remember they dropped me off and I was crying, please don't leave me, please don't leave me. And all these kids are happy and comfortable in this environment without parents. Yeah, and then I remember the whole 8 hours I was sitting there in that exact chair looking in that direction, like, because that's where the bus came from.
Right, just
And
waiting.
I was like, just waiting. I didn't move. Teacher would come, are you okay? Like, my bottle's hanging here. I'm not moving at all. My neck like this. I'm not. I was so nervous and so
Sure.
scared. Yeah, so that was a private school that mum and dad put me through. And then, yeah, that's
You
all I remember at the start.
obviously grew into it though. I mean, it's probably
Yes.
normal for kids to just be nervous on the first day or whatever, but
Yeah. No, that's everyone who has that experience. But then grew up, like, I remember our house was probably twice as big as this room. So little shower, which was like, it wasn't even a shower, just a bucket and some, water to shower. There'll be a little gas in the corner, one chair, one table, and a bed. Like, so the bed was tucked away in the corner. So that was our house. That was our entire house. And we lived there for, like, I don't know, since I was 13, 14.
yep.
And when I was 9 is when my sister passed away. I had a sister who passed away, which I still sort of think about. Like, I'm like, oh, because I got told in the past saying, when you're a kid, you can ask anything to God, because we were so spiritual, and anything you ask for God, He will give it to you, sort of thing. As a kid, especially. So the only thing I wanted was my sister to be back. And that was sort of sad, man. I still remember the day. It was her funeral and it was my birthday, and I just didn't know how to take it as a kid. Like, I was 9 at the time, and I always used to watch Bruce Lee movies. Watching Bruce Lee movies, I would think, oh shit, Bruce Lee died at the end of the movie, but he always comes back, and it was a different movie. I never really understood the concept. I just thought people don't die. They always come back to life. So I remember she was in the coffin. Everyone's coming in. So I'm happy because I'm getting all these cousins visiting. But I'm thinking it's because of my birthday, or, I'm so confused.
Processing that as a kid.
Yeah. But mom's crying, dad's crying, everyone's crying. And I remember I had this, like, football that I was just kicking around. And I was just happy. Everyone would just come and visit me. But I was like, you guys don't know. She's going to wake up tomorrow and she's going to be fine. Like, you guys don't know this. I've watched too many movies. I know. And the reality hit when they were burying her. And I was like, excuse me, what are you guys doing? And I ran up. I remember I ran up and mom was, like, holding me back. I was like, don't do that. Like, how is she going to come out alive if you guys bury her? And I was devastated, man. That was the worst. I was like, I can't. She's gone forever. Like, she's gone forever. That's when I realized. I was like, oh, and that trauma sort of stayed with you. You don't know how to deal with stuff like that, because in India, I feel so sorry for my mum, because she passed away on her leg. Like, she was feeding her, I remember, and she just had a seizure. And I was laughing because I was like, look at that. She's doing something cool, like crazy. And then she just gone. And
so sad, man.
I still remember, bro, my instinct just went, mom said, doctor. Mom started screaming, and I just grabbed her. This is a 9-year-old kid. I grabbed her, and I started running towards the direction of a doctor. I didn't know what to do. It was like fight or flight mode sort of thing. It just happened straight away. Yeah, man. And then she was in the coma for ages. She wasn't responding, nothing. Yeah, and then there was something that, and then the next year had the best year because my sister was born, and I'm so close with her, and she's like a big part of my life, and all the achievements that I have is because of her. But yeah, we mom and dad saved up a lot of money. They built a house maybe like 5-10 k's away from there for a better life for me. Put me in a better school. We were closer to family, and yeah, man, life was a little bit. It was mischief. It was free, no technology, no, like, we only knew, food, school, back to family. That was the only thing we sort of did. But yeah, man, yeah. So that was way different to what we live our lives here. Like I
It
still
definitely
have
sounds
mates.
a lot different to New Zealand.
Yeah, man. Still have mates there that, yeah, their life is like still so far back. They can only imagine what we're going through over here, and they could wish that they would have our life. But it is what it is. Like there's so many things going on in different countries, and just puts your life into perspective. Especially when you travel as well. Like when I went back to India with obviously Josh, Julian, that's when I really realized I was like, I never really knew about stuff like this, about how life was. Because when I lived there, that just became my life. That was my life, you know? I didn't understand the struggles, like all this stuff. Like, I'd be like, Mom, why can't you buy me that pizza? You know, like, it's not fair. Like, my friends are getting that. Why can't you? I didn't understand they struggled with money, you know? Like, dad would, like, dad was in New Zealand working so he could provide for our family. He wanted a better future for me and my sister. So he worked really hard to get us here, and I'm grateful for that. Forever grateful. But yeah, man, life was hard over there. But I didn't, like, mom and dad never let us experience the hard, part of life.
And that's the beauty of kids, right? Is you're innocent. Like kids are innocent. They don't understand the troubles of the world yet. That's not until adulthood that you have to worry about those things.
Yeah, man.
I'm sorry to hear about your sister, bro. It's definitely very sad. And like you say, that's the worst thing I would think that a parent could ever go through, right? It's not how it's meant to be. It's meant to be the other way around. But it actually explains your relationship with Anusha because, you guys are very tight and you're very protective over her. So
100%, man.
You can see why.
Yeah. And never want anyone to experience that. Especially at a young age, you don't know how to deal with it. Like kids experience like a pet passing away. And it's sort of, you lose that part of family. You can get another pet, like a human. It's hard, man. Like you build that relationship, you have that, and then all of a sudden they're not there. And I don't even know that time just passed so fast that I don't even remember. It was like a blank in my life. Like after she was gone, it was a blank until my sister was born. And then my life started resume. Yeah.
And how do you teach a kid how to deal with death? Because most people obviously wouldn't even think of that. It sort of just comes, like death just comes at any time in your life and you just have to learn to deal with it. But yeah, as a kid, like you say, it would be a lot harder to process that. So, what sort of hobbies did you do over in India then? You got up to a bit of mischief, I hear.
Hobbies isn't. I wasn't a sporty kid. I was always forced into studying and doing stuff, but we cousins and stuff, we would always get up to mischief. Our hobbies were going and stealing people's like mangoes and coconuts and getting towed off or like getting chased by them. But it was fun, man. It was fun. We would make little games out of nothing, and be happy about it. Like we'd pick up tires, non-used tires, like fucked up tires, and then we would grab a stick and we'll have a race on the road with a tire. Let's see who wins. Like from here, a kilometer away, I'll meet you here. That's the finish line. And we would be fit because that's all we did.
Yeah.
We'd run around, we jump around, we do anything. Nowadays, over here, kids, controller.
Addicted, yeah.
Controller.
But in saying
chips.
that, do you think it's the same now in India? Like you go to most third world countries and still everyone has cell phones now.
I feel like yes. Cell phone wise, yes. Social media, yes. Which I'm not happy about because you miss your childhood, man. Like people aren't gonna know what it's like to play in the mud, get dirty, jump in the rain, or get stuck in the rain and have fun. No, like it's yeah.
And you're creating your own fun from nothing. So
Yeah.
surely that, like, when you get into adulthood, that means something as well. Like, you can be content with nothing and still be happy or whatever.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, we did stuff like that. Like, we would play football with a plastic bottle. That would be, you put 2 jandals on the side. That's the goalpost. We just play football with a plastic bottle. We're happy. But now, we're so lost with technology, and that's not fun anymore. If you see that, you'll be like, stupid.
Yeah, or you just get bored and then you want
Yeah.
to just go back to your iPad.
Yeah.
Well, the kids these days would anyway.
Yeah, man. So you miss that part of life, and I'm so glad I experienced that. Went through a lot of hard times as well, like, you know, getting beaten up by dad because there was just what happened. There was life. Like every household, you know, a kid doesn't perform in studies, boom, you would hear them crying. So that's them getting beaten up. Okay, it's this person getting beaten up. Like exams was the most stressful, man. As soon as the results come out, you know, everyone's crying. If it's not A plus, you're crying, you know? So it was hard. Like people drill so much academic and put so much pressure academically that people just push them to be a certain way. You're either this, that's what they say in India, doctor, lawyer, engineer, or a failure.
That's ruthless.
Yeah, so it's yeah, man, it's real. That shit is real. Like even now, hanging out, like if you have like Indian events and stuff like that, I particularly don't like it going to them much because they sort of judge you straight away on what you do, and they talk to you a certain way.
Right.
You know, what do you do? Oh, I work at a gym. Oh, all of a sudden it changes.
Instantly.
Changes. Body language changes. The tone changes. Cool. Yeah. So I'm a failure, right?
Yeah,
You know?
that's quite sad. That's a sad way to look at it, right?
It is. But if you look at it, I'm healthy. I'm looking after myself. I feel like I could live longer than what you could, you know, if the way you live your life. Yes, money and stuff isn't going to save you later on, right? But health and looking after yourself, looking after your mental health is going to go longer than you going through here. That's, yeah.
But do you think like that style of thinking, they've been indoctrinated into thinking that way? Because like you say, like India is such a tough life, and there's like 1 billion people now. Obviously a lot of people live in the slums, and they know if your son can become a doctor or a lawyer, that they are not going to live that tough life. But they're going to be able to escape it.
Yeah.
Do you think that's where it comes from?
I would say yes, but obviously they just want to chase the top of the top, you know, and that's how they're gonna get their family out of this. Otherwise, there's no hope, you know. Sort of, they put so much pressure on their kids to get them out of this that the kid now doesn't even want to do it anymore because they can't even live their life. It's like parents have a second life, you know, and they want
kids.
through their kids, and they push them so much that some people kill themselves because they can't keep up with it anymore. Like suicide rates are so high in like university students in India, especially, that they don't want to do it, like engineering, you know, they want to do arts or singing or doing this, but they can't pursue that. But as an Asian kid, you always want to make your parents proud. Always. Like if you don't, you just leave and you're not part of the family. But that's majority of the time you get brought up like that. And like me as well, I just want to make my parents proud, you know. Like yes, there'll be times when I'm like, oh, I don't want to do that, but I want to make my parents proud, you know. So
well, I guess like we've talked about it before, but you know, like your parents obviously lived a tough life and did so much to get your family to New Zealand that I guess their perspective is like, if you're doing something, I wouldn't say what you're doing is like you have a fine job.
No,
to me, yeah, exactly,
Yep.
and that's fine. But they might think, you know, they've sacrificed and done all this hard work just for you to go and do something that they don't think is admirable or whatever.
Yeah, but it's not the case, you know. Like they know how hard I work and how well behaved. Like I don't do silly stuff, you know. So it's, they respect me for that life that I've chosen. Like, yeah, I look after myself. I make sure I look after everyone else, and I respect my family. And I'm just constantly working on making them proud, or you know, making myself proud. Like just
And you are a very respectful person. Like
Yeah,
I'm
thank
sure
you, mate.
most people would say that about you. And interesting, like you talking about your childhood, your dad, you know, like just pursuing excellence in you, but you still have that attitude to this day. So maybe like you did carry those lessons throughout your life.
100%, man.
You're like, I don't know if that's where you get your competitiveness from. Maybe that's something else, but you want to be a high achiever in anything you do, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like we gone into chess lately, and you're just like going at it, like wanting to learn. I need to be better.
Yeah.
Same as like when you got into jiu-jitsu or anything, even you at the gym, you're like, top performing salesman, just going hard.
Yeah, man.
Do you think that's where you got it from?
Yes, definitely. And I feel like that, like Dad had very like military discipline sort of thing towards me. And at the time I didn't like it. I was like, why? Like kids are playing. Like, I wasn't allowed to play outside. I would hear my dad's scooter come through around the corner. Boom, I'm out. Straight away, I'm going inside and I'm opening up a book. Like this was fear. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't. I wasn't allowed to play with my friends, like, because he just thought. I see where he was coming from, because he was like, I don't want you to be growing up and ending up in slums, or like ending up at a job at a hotel as a doorman, and like, I want you to study, I want you to get better, so you can have a better life. You don't realize, like, I didn't realize that at the time. As a kid, you just want to play around with your friends and do fun stuff, like get into trouble.
Because what percentage of people do you think in Goa made it out to another country, sort of like what your family did?
I mean, I would say 20%, like just throwing out a number out there, but like most of the people went to UK. It's like a few years ago because of their grandparents' passports, because Goa was ruled by Portuguese.
Right.
So they could get their Portuguese passport and then make their way over. But if it wasn't for that, then people go on cruises, and that's the only way they travel. So 9 months they cruise, 3 months they're off, and then they come here and then blow their money.
Isn't that what your dad did? Did he work on cruises for a bit?
So he started he started first working on cruises, but he could only do 6 months because my sister passed away, so he had to come back.
Right.
And Mum didn't want him to go again because it was too hard for our family, sort of thing. So he just stayed back, and then New Zealand was, I think, 3 or 4 years later that he went to New Zealand, and then he was here for like 3 years, and then that's when he made us come over, brought us over.
So he had to come here first.
Yeah. So he came here for work because he got told to apply for this job that, from his hotel, because he's an amazing chef, man. So he got told to apply. He got the job. He came here, worked for 3 years, then brought the family over in 2008. Yeah, man. Yeah. So
and how was that transition to New Zealand?
very hard, very, very hard.
How old were you?
I was 15. I had just turned 15. So at this age, you're sort of making friends, and then you want to hang out, you want to go out, do stuff. Like back home, it was more like, you would, I don't know, go. Now you can ride motorbikes. You can go, I don't know, like 2-3 hours away to a beach and then hang out, or like have coconuts and water, and like, it's just really nice lifestyle in Goa. Like in terms of freedom, coming here, I was just like, I didn't know. First of all, I didn't know how to speak English. Like I thought I knew how to speak English.
Yeah,
like,
do you get taught that in India? How to speak English in your schools?
not really speak, but like we would read, but that shit went over our head. Like, okay, this about the story, about a book, reading about some story, and then you're like, okay, whatever. Yeah, I wasn't really good at English or whatever. I was just good at maths. And then coming over, I thought I knew English until people started talking, and I was like, I don't understand a thing you're saying. Like, oh my gosh! Like, I remember, man. I'm still shy. I was such a shy kid that I thought I wouldn't last here very long. I remember first time getting introduced to the class. The teacher said, "Okay, this is Anu. He's going to be new." I came like term 4, I think. So very late.
You would have been
year
year
10.
9. Oh, year 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
Year 10. And people just started laughing. Everyone just started laughing at me. And then the teacher yelled out saying, "Why are you laughing?" sort of thing. And I was just like, oh shit, they were laughing at me. So I didn't know. I just thought teacher made a funny joke and they were laughing. But teacher just yelled out saying, "What the hell?" Like, and they're like, "Okay, who would like to be Anu's friend and take him around, show him around the school?" I remember Ben Anderson put his hand up. And yeah, I was grateful for that, because that's how I got into football, because Ben, he just couldn't live without his football.
That's all you need to, is one kind person, to just be like,
yeah, man.
I'll do it.
He was amazing. He would show me around, but I just wouldn't understand a thing. Would say I would just, always be behind him the whole time wherever he would go. And then that's how I started getting into football. Connect with football. Got bullied a lot because I couldn't speak English. But I didn't realize. I sort of tried to brush it off to be like, okay, whatever. Like, I don't know how to respond to this. So anger became my big thing to respond. And I remember like just getting really angry and frustrated and getting back at these people on the football field. So lunchtime we would play. I'd be like, so you were laughing at me. Yeah. You were saying this shit. I would just go up, tackle.
Bro, like, in a way, I don't know, people criticize it, but I think anger has its place. I'm sure that stopped you from getting bullied. If 100%. You show like, bro, I'm going to get angry and fight you, then people are like, oh, hang on. All of a sudden, he's not a pushover. I can't just bully him anymore.
Yeah. And I also feel like now you understand it. Like going back, people bully because they have insecurities, so they're at home not getting their way, or like they're getting bullied at home, or like they're getting treated shit. So they think they could come to school and bully and pick on these kids that are like, can't look after themselves, or like can't protect themselves. So I became that kid, and I was like, nah, not happening. Like sports was the only way. I remember one time walking home from school and these kids were laughing behind me, and they were like, he doesn't understand English. And I picked up on that sentence, and I was like, looked back, and I was like, okay, I know him. Straight away, I was like, target. He became target. Like it was just like, it was like I couldn't respond. Like I couldn't respond verbally, or like stop or do this or do this, because I didn't like that confrontation. But sports became my big thing, and anger. I could take out my anger on the sports field, and I think that's part of what took a long way in my sporting career, is because I thought if I could be good at this one thing, I could make friends. That became my way of communicating. I remember getting picked for the first team. I don't know why, but it was just because I was quick. Didn't have a good first touch. I just had a powerful shot, and I was quick. That was the reason why I got picked. This is when I realized some of my mates were like, why is he getting picked? Jealousy and like all this other. And I was like, I would hang out with them at lunchtime, and they would give me this negative energy of like, nah, you're not part of our group anymore because you think you're too good, all this other stuff. So that's when I started meeting Josh. That's when I met Josh, and then yourself, and obviously Ebert is like my second family now. So that's where it all started, and I was like, if I could be good. I remember your dad telling me, Anu, just hit the ball against the wall, control it 100 times. And I kept doing that. I just hit the ball against the wall, control it. As soon as I got my touch, I was like, okay, sweet. I want to do this. I want to do a volley now 100 times, So reps became a thing. And I remember my sister would come with me, drill. I'd bring like 4 or 5 soccer balls from warehouse, and then, okay, I'm going to kick it. I'm going to aim at the scoreboard. I'm going to aim at every letter. Be there for like 5-6 hours, bro. I'm trying to hit the letters. And then my sister's getting the balls for me.
Ball girl.
Yeah, but I wanted to go get it. But she'd be like, no, you stay here. I'll get it for you. So I feel like she's such a big part of my success in everything that I've done, that without her, I don't think I would be where I am, like in terms of especially awesome. Physical.
But she obviously saw how passionate you were and how much you wanted to get better.
Yeah, man.
And that's cool that, she's willing to help you. She sees that you're trying to do that.
Yeah.
It's funny because I don't have any memories of you being like not a good footballer. So obviously when we met, you were already good. Because I don't remember, you've always had like a mean first touch, and obviously you've always been fast, but you obviously developed quite quickly then. Or maybe you're just downplaying your skills at the start.
No, so I didn't really play football back home. It was with a plastic bottle, and that was for fun. Like, okay, we'll play, 10 minutes, gone. But coming here, it's like, it became so... I was craving friends. I was craving, like, I wanted to be belonged somewhere, I want to be part of something, whereas I felt so out of it. I remember, man, I would pay $1 at the library, go watch Ronaldo on YouTube. I would open up my flip phone, record the skills, watch the skill, get home, and I would do the same skill like 100 times. 100 times. Step overs, this, that. I was like, fuck. If I drill this over and over and people like when they go home, I wouldn't go home after school. I would just go home, get changed, boom, out straight away. I would grab my football, out.
Yeah.
So
How cool was that outlet of sports? And like you say that, you know, so many sports do that. For me, it's like jiu-jitsu, but you can go to another country, roll with someone that you both speak different languages, but you can connect. And football's the same.
Yes.
Like, what a good way to express all your emotions. Like, it's probably good getting out all that anger, all that built-up testosterone probably as a developing man. But then, yeah, joining a team and, like, winning together or losing together, learning how to deal with all those emotions together.
Yeah, man.
Like, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's one thing I miss as well as team sport. But also was frustrating as well. Why are you not running after the ball? You know, like, I got to rely on this person, but also there's like that brotherhood, like, if you touch that person, I'm going to fuck you up sort of thing. You know, you got each other's backs. And I really miss that. I think next year I'm going to make a comeback of, like, you know, even playing socially, man. Like, I just want to be part of a team. And I miss that connecting.
Well, I think it seems like me and you both stopped for the same reasons. Because, like, you know, we had such a tight group in Bernards and then moved on to Batonian. And then as the years went on, it was like less of a brotherhood and more of like politics and, more of like that probably, I know what the fuck are you doing, blah, blah, blah. And then no social afterwards. And it's almost like, why the fuck am I playing in this team?
Yeah, it became like that. I remember even playing, like, I believed so much in hard work, and that's what's got me to where I am in everything that I've done. I remember playing for Wairapa, National Youth League, and we were training. I would wake up 4:30 a.m., go to work 5:30. From 5:30 till 5, I would work, run to the train station, catch the train, and then go to training. And that would be my day, like, for training days. And I think we trained 2 or 3 times a week. And this is before preseason for Petone. And I remember, man, I didn't want to miss a training. I was like, yeah, it's going to be hard, but just keep going. And then coach noticed it, Merrick, who passed away, noticed it. I remember him saying, like, I think it was Phil, saying, if everyone worked as hard as Anu did, we would win the league. That's and cool. I still hold that comment so close to my heart, because I was like, no one notices.
Yeah, you're like, finally someone's seen my hard work.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so people do notice your hard work, and it does go a long way, because I kept putting reps in. I was like, you know, maybe I'm not the fittest in the team, but I if I work hard, I will get there someday. You know, if I do this, I'll get there someday. Yeah, man. So it's little things like that that get you so far. And if you drill your mind into working hard and not giving up, you go so far. Go so far. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And I'm still thinking about those videos of, was it RS Freestylers?
yeah.
Of you guys, you, TV, and Joshua, and Julian.
Yeah, man.
Julian trying to do the around the worlds and stuff. But it was crack up seeing that on YouTube like a couple of months back.
Yeah,
like TV's YouTube 11, however long it was, 11 years ago. It's like you guys doing like all the tricks and stuff. I actually have a funny story of Bernard's. I think I was year 9 and you were probably year 12 or 13. I don't know if you remember this, but we were down, is it Marina Grove? Like the one between the Tech Block and the Marsland Block, that street where everyone would park.
Oh, yeah.
Or whatever that street is.
Yeah.
And there was like year 11s bullying me, and we were on the street and like had my car there. And then, I was like getting bullied by like a group of them. I was like a year 9, like a little kid. And these guys, I guess, were thinking they were tough picking on me. And then you and Josh came around the corner. And I remember, I just all of a sudden see you guys. So then it's like my confidence perks up. And I start like mouthing off. And then I think he came and pushed me. And then like Josh shoved him onto the bonnet of the car. And you'd been doing taekwondo for a couple of weeks, bro. You did like some flying kick on him while he was like throwing on the bonnet, and then you jumped to some like flying kick. You like fucking pretty much trying to fuck him up, and then he was, a bit shocked by that. I think,
They were a bit scared, man. Like, cause I felt like I jumped into a different zone. Cause I remember that comment that he made. Cause I think you were doing a BMX trick or whatever on the bike, and then they laughed at you, and then Josh said, something, and then I was like, boys, let's just go. And then he said, oh, you're gonna get your Indian brother on me. And that's when I just put my bag down. I was like, this needs to end.
Yeah.
Like, and I remember there were like 5 or 6 guys, and the person that made the comment stood there, and everyone else just left.
They all dropped their nuts.
Yeah, they were like, "Oh, these are like 6-foot guys."
I remember that too, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I was year 9, they were year 11, you were year 13. So it was like funny because they were all tough bullying a year 9 kid, 2 years younger. But then as soon as someone 2 years older than them came up, they're all like, "Oh no, I'm sorry." It's like,
I remember like doing. We did a lot of self defense at Taekwondo, and I remember Cameron's mum came and grabbed me in a bear hug. And you know how to get rid of bear hugs. If she didn't speak, I would do the same exact thing. I would just go like this and then elbow her and the thing. But I'm so glad she spoke, because I was in such a angry zone that I was just like, anyone that's coming, I'm fucking them up, sort of thing. So I was just like,
imagine that.
Yeah, man, that would not turn out good.
No, that was good. It felt good to know that you guys had my back.
100%, man. I think that's what brotherhood was. And I remember Miss Thompson was like, completely took away, because she knew what they were like and what they did. I remember one of them actually chucked a fart bomb in our shop where mum and dad worked.
True.
I ran out. I was working there. I ran out and I saw his bike, and I was like, okay, I know who he is. I went straight to him the next day, and I was like, what the fuck's your problem, bro? Like, if you got a problem, you got to come talk to me or confront it with me. Never ever pick on my family. I would smash the shit out of you. You would not remember anything. I'm so protective of my family that I would never. Someone from the outside, do you have a problem with me? Come talk to me.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't ever take it to your family. Like, what the hell?
But then looking back on it, sort of like we talked about earlier, they probably had their own insecurities. Who knows? Their home life was probably not the greatest, and they're taking it out on bullying other little kids.
Yeah, man.
But they never bullied me again after that. After you guys fucked them up that time,
They learn,
no,
right?
I'm not missing that.
Yeah.
Also, before you guys did that, like, I was always cheeky when I was
Oh,
a
you fucking
little
right.
kid. Yeah, even we had a few instances where I think you wanted to smash me because I was being so cheeky towards you. I don't know. I was never scared of getting beaten up, but I definitely wasn't a tough kid either, especially in year 9. But I remember those guys had it out for me, probably because I was being a cheeky little shit. And Samawalu, actually, who was in our year group, he was like a Samoan boy. Bro, he was like a fully grown man in year 9. Like, he was ginormous.
Yeah.
And I remember one time, this was before that incident, he went and confronted them on the field day, and he was just like, pretty much like, the fuck are you going to do, blah, blah, blah. And again, they didn't do anything. And then it came round to that incident, and then that was the final straw, I think.
Yeah, and some kids, like, but kids remember, you know? Like, I remember I was walking through school, and one of those people remembered, because I went to visit Mr. Hickson, this was like years ago, and he remembered, and he was like looking at me, staring me down. And I was like, what? So he was holding this grudge of whatever would have happened on the football field or whatever it is. But life goes on, man. Like, you know, people grow, people learn, like, it just happens, you know?
Well, I don't know one of those guys, but I know that my brother has chatted to him like years down the line, and like Josh was saying, he's actually all good, nice dude, blah, blah, blah. So it's just like everyone's going through their own shit.
Oh, yeah, I know
school.
exactly who he's talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, I've met him too, and he seems like an all good guy now.
Yeah.
I guess you just grow through your childhood, and yeah, it's a weird one, like school, because all these kids is trying to figure out who they are, like doing lots of wrong things, but I guess you just hope that you're learning from those mistakes that you're making.
Yeah, man.
And hopefully not making any dramatic mistakes that are going to affect your whole life, you know?
Yeah.
What else do I have for you? I wanted to talk to you about your gym journey. When did you start getting into the gym? Was it after footy?
Yes, yeah. So I was obviously doing well in football and sort of losing interest in football because Josh had left, and that was the main reason why I played, because we could hang out together and we were both good and we could both perform in the same team, or, you know, he was in the first team and he was killing it. So it was always for me to work up to the first team. So it became competitive and became healthy. It was good. But then the following year he left, and then I just felt really lonely. I actually felt like my first heartbreak when he left, like legit, like, because we did everything together.
Yeah, you were like best friends.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And then I remember I was always keeping myself busy through that. But yeah, football happened. I had a bad injury which I couldn't come back from.
Was
My
it your
ankle.
ankle, yeah.
Yeah, man. Couldn't come back. It like took me 2 years to like rehab properly. But during that time, I got in the gym. I would do upper body, lower body, whatever it is. I couldn't sort of move agility wise, like athletic wise. So that's where my journey started. And I just wanted to. I was just a little skinny kid, and I just wanted to be okay. Let's see if I can gain muscle, or like I would go on YouTube, just check out a few exercises, and then just go and do them. But I remember, man, I was so shy at the gym. This big guy came and showed me how to use the ropes, because that was the first time I ever moved from the chest press machine to the cables.
Right.
And I would only do chest press machine or bicep curls, like preacher curls. And those are the only two machines I would stay on that side of the gym because it was quieter. So I remember I was like, okay, I'll see what these cables are like. So I remember pulling on one end of the cable and going like this. And I was like, and then this bodybuilder saw me, this huge guy saw me, and he's like, oh, I'll show you how to use it. Real nice. But as soon as he came over, I was done. I was just like, I'm shy. Like I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed. Like, you're showing me. And then he showed me this tricep exercise. So I did one set and I left and I didn't come for a week.
True.
Because I was so shy. I was like, if I see him again, he might tell me to do another exercise, or like, so.
But it's actually really nice of him to do 100%.
100%. But I didn't realize that at that point, So I was like, just a shy little kid. Like, Dad forced me to go to the gym. Dad used to go and check my accesses if I actually made it to the gym.
True.
Yeah, man. So he got me into it because he transferred his membership to me, and he wanted me to go because he was too busy with work.
What gym was this at?
Les Mills.
Les
Yeah,
Mills.
at Hutt City. Yeah. Yeah, and then I wanted to get this transformation, and I got a really good transformation from that year, so 2014 to 2015. And everyone started noticing, and then they were like, oh, are you competing? Are you going to do this? And I was like, oh, that's on my mind. Oh, let's do it. But never really acted on it. I was like, nah, I don't want to do it. Yeah, so been on and off in the gym, then moved to Melbourne, and I felt really depressed and alone. I remember you coming to visit me as well, and I was like, oh my gosh, familiar face. I remember you putting your hand out to say hello to me, and I was like, nah, man, I need a hug. I miss this. Yeah, and then
was Tay with me as well?
Yes. Yeah,
and we went to like casino, the ice cream and stuff.
Yeah, that trip. And then gym became my thing, and I was like, okay, sweet. I can focus on something that's gonna keep me busy, but I can also compete as well. Maybe less to it. I remember getting on that journey. It was like 5 months maybe, or 4 months. But I spent a lot of money, man. Like, adding up, it was like 12K in like 4 months. Yeah.
Wow.
Diet coaches, posing coaches. Like, I just wanted to do it right. And I picked good coaches that sort of had like a scientific background. They knew what they were doing. It wasn't just like, hypertrophy is like this. Like, everyone thinks. It wasn't
bro science. It was actual science.
Yeah. Real science. Like, real science. These people knew nutrients, muscle, this, that. Everyone thinks hypertrophy training, muscle building training is 3 sets, 10 reps. No, it's not. It's time under tension. It's the range of motion, the tension that you put your muscle under, the stress for how long you go for, and really pushing it, like your RPE, like preserve exertion. But yeah, there was so much that I learned through that. So that 12K, I don't see it as I got ready for a bodybuilding comp. It was more of I was educating myself and taking on knowledge, asking questions. So those 4 months were like my life changing in terms of my career in fitness.
Well, that's awesome. It's good that you see it as an investment even to this day rather than a waste.
Oh, no way. I would never see that as a waste. Like, jumping on that stage though, I was like a skinny little bitch. Like, I remember Josh, one of my mates, he was him and Katie were together, and he said to Katie, he's like, he looks like he hasn't eaten for days. He said this, he's like hungry Ethiopian kid standing up on stage. That's what he said to me. And
I thought you hadn't eaten for days.
Yeah, I hadn't, but that's how they wanted me to look. But they gave me like you're supposed to have carbs so you can fill you back up.
Right.
You get depleted and then fills you back up. But they gave me one banana and there wasn't enough.
True.
And then lollies backstage, that's just not enough. But now I understood. I was like, coming back here, obviously throughout lockdown, I after that, I decided, okay, I've learned enough. I can just do my normal stuff. Then after lockdown happened, moved here. I was really out of shape. Like I wasn't happy the way I looked. And I was like, something needs to change. Once you don't look a certain way, you're out of shape. Your mindset gets affected so much because you're not thinking clearly. You're just not happy the way you look. And you just want to be fit. Like fit and healthy, people think like fit and healthy is only good physically. No, it's so much more mental than physical itself.
For sure.
Physical
But
is.
do you think though, in that, because in that bodybuilding industry, there's lots of body dysmorphia. Do you think you've had that? Because I know you say you probably were out of shape, but if anyone else looked at you, they probably would have thought you were still in mean shape.
Yeah. I mean, I did have that, not so much, but now I have that a lot.
Right.
Like right now, I suffer that with like a lot of that, because I don't know what it is. Like I'm happy the way I look, but there's always something that you like. Nah, something could change. Something could be perfect. I look like this a certain way. You compare yourself to like when you jumped on stage.
Yeah. Do you do that still?
I still do that.
Mm.
Yeah, which sucks because, brother, one thing, like, few things I don't do is hydrate enough, sleep, and eat. So I feel like if I starve myself, I'll look leaner. And when I look leaner, I look bigger. But it's not good for my mindset.
No.
I can't think clearly. I'm hungry, but I don't want to eat. Because if I eat now, I might be fat. Like all those things. But I'm trying to learn through that process of like, now I'm not into like, I don't see bodybuilding. I see athletic. Like, I want to be more athletic. I want to be more functional and train. I just want to move. I want to be able to move pain-free. That's my goal this year, is I want to reach the end of the year.
Well, that seems like a lot more of a healthy goal, because
Yes.
even bodybuilding, you see those pictures on stage, that is very temporary. Like you say, you have to do that, like whatever crazy weight cut, not hydrate, and then all that just to get that 1 hour on stage where you look perfect. But what do they look like the next day when they're bloating and eating all that food,
Yeah.
So surely that the other way that you're talking about, being athletic and living that healthier lifestyle, is a lot better for you.
Yes, it is. It is. And like you can sustain that for a longer period of time, right? Like people think, oh, bodybuilding. Like I remember this one guy came up to me and was like, oh, are you going to compete in this federation because you can become a pro? And I was like, actually, bodybuilding isn't my sport. And he's like, you're wasting your physique. What is that? Like, why would you do that? I'm thinking, why don't you do that? That's not my life. Like, I want to be able to run, hike, or like jump as high as I want, or like, be more functional side of things. That's what I'm interested in. I did this bodybuilding thing because I was going through a really hard time throughout my life at that point, and I just wanted to focus on something that's gonna really make me tunnel vision on this one goal, and that's what I did, and that's what became like. That's why I could do that.
It consumes your life, eh?
It does, because, and it also takes a toll on my family too. Like people around me, because I'm not the same. Like, oh, let's go out, let's do this. Yeah, okay, let's go out, but I can't eat that. Imagine that, man. Like, oh, I can't. Oh, I have to be on a diet. I can't have water. Like,
but I remember when we went down south, that Gloriavale trip. Yeah, you were. It must have been a comp like very close coming up.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yeah, and like I remember you were cooking your meals at night, like perfect portions, and I had that punnet of blueberries, and I was eating, and I was like, I don't want to be like a dick and tease you, but like, do you want a blueberry? And I remember you were like, I probably could have a blueberry, but I'm not going to.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to say no because it's not counted in my calories. Like I'm sure one blueberry would be fine.
Yeah.
But like you had that. What's the word? Like, yeah, that restriction to tell me no blueberries.
Yeah. I felt like I was in a crazy mindset that I felt like military. Like I can't, I can't even have 1 gram of extra rice. I couldn't do that. Like when I jumped on stage, I knew looking back, I was like, I did everything right. If I lose, I lose. but I won that comp, and now I look back and be like, I'm glad I did everything right.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's looking back and going, oh wow, yeah, everything worked. Everything was there for a reason.
Well, I respect you for doing that, because that is what a high performing person does. And lots of people on the outside look at it and say you're crazy, this and that, but they're just average people living their average life, throwing insults at you. But I mean, good on you for giving it everything you have. So you can't knock a person for doing that, surely.
Yeah, and you get comments, like, oh, are you on steroids? Ha 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 ha.
You must get that heaps.
Oh my gosh, man, that thing pissed me off so much. Like, I struggle to eat Panadol. Like, if I have a headache, I'm like, that's artificial shit that shouldn't go in my body. But
so just to confirm, you've never had steroids in your life?
Never, and never will. Why would I? I wanna stay healthy. I don't want artificial shit in my body, man. The thing that this pisses me off so much, that we had to get the vaccine like a week before jumping on stage.
True.
Because they made a rule. They said, if you don't get the vaccine, you can't compete.
That's so fucked.
Bro, it's too late. I've paid for this. I've done this. I've done that. I've given up a lot of things, and you're saying I can't compete? Like, I fucking hate injections, man. I hate needles, and then they had to stick that thing in me, and low body fat. Like, I don't know what's happening.
Well, that's a whole other topic. I mean, I'm not a fan of the vaccines, full stop. But imagine, your body depleted, all that stuff. Probably not the best time to get it.
And I was a little bit sketched. I was like hearing all these mixed news about vaccines and all this other stuff, and I'm like, bro, I'm at the lowest. Like, I feel like my brain's not working. Like, at this point, I can't physically walk properly. Like, I'm just so depleted that I just need naps. And you're gonna inject the shit in me because you want me to jump on stage? Like, and then they said,
there's no logic behind it, eh?
Oh my god! And then they say they didn't force us to have them, bro. You were telling me to quit my job.
Yeah.
Either be at your job or stick this needle in you and get this.
Well, that's the thing. They say they didn't force you to have it, but then they stop you from doing anything you want to do in your life unless you get it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, technically they didn't, come around to your house and lock you down and shove it in you, but they wouldn't let you live your normal life if you wouldn't get it.
Are you supposed to pay your bills? Or like, yeah.
I remember one time we were in the sauna, going back to your steroid things, in Nelson. And there was this steroids in there. And I know you, bro. I know that you've never done steroids. People might not believe you because of like how good a shape you're in. But I remember you were in there and then you left to get some water and there was two other guys. And they were like, bro, that guy's definitely on steroids. He's fucking jacked, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, bro, he's not. It's like, but they don't believe you, eh? It's just, I guess it's hard work. I hate when people say, it's almost like an insult.
It definitely is, bro.
You didn't work hard to get that. You just shoved something in there. And because I can't get like that, I don't believe that you can either.
And that's what I hate as well, is when they try to put you down because they can't get to that level. They have the potential to get that level. Everyone does. Everyone does have the potential to get to that level, but they just don't have the mindset. I always say this thing, man. Gym translate to so many different aspects of your life. Like me doing those last 2 reps. I always go, okay, I remember getting ready for the comp. I would do however many reps I said I would, but then I would always do 3 extra. I'd be like, once for my sister, once for my dad, once for my mom. And I would connect family with it. When you make something about yourself, it's easier to give up. When you make it something about someone else that's closer to you, you work harder. You find some sort of energy outside of that. But I always say, like, when you're working out, you get to those last 3 reps. This is where normal person gives up. But I'm not normal. I want to push that extra mile, to get those extra few reps, because this extra few reps is going to add up to, be more and more. And all of a sudden, this average guy has 1,000 less reps than what I have had in the year or what's up, and that's pushing your limits, man. People think they've reached their limits here, but there's this much more, but they always go, oh, I'm tired, I can't do it,
give up,
oh, that's enough, yeah, that hurts a little bit, yeah, that's fine. People go, oh, I work out 5 days a week, but why can't I look like you? do you really work out 5 days a week, or do you really push yourself? You
And
may think.
and even like you say, like you've got a very high performing mindset, but it's even like what do you eat and what's your sleep and how much you're drinking. You know, he might be like, oh, I work out 5 days a week and then get on the piss 3 nights a week and go home and eat a whole tub of ice cream or whatever, a cup of seed oils for dinner or whatever he's doing.
Yeah, but people always convince themselves that they're working hard. You know, they just go, no, I'm doing chest, I'm doing this, I'm pushing the weights. Like, it should be fine. Like, I will grow. Yeah, but people also miss that consistency. But they go for 3 months and they go, nah, I'm not seeing a change. Go back to old habits. But it's that 4th month that you see the change and you go, oh shit, you know? And that's where people give up. People go, I don't want to do that 4 month, you know? I've done 3 months of sacrificing, eating this diet, doing this. I'm not saying stick to a crazy diet, because I don't. I eat whatever I want. But I also work hard.
Those crazy diets seem like they never end up long term. Like, I don't think humans can, you know, like you're just, especially if you're restricting yourself with calories, it's like a bank that remembers that you aren't eating those calories and then you'll just crack.
Yeah, man.
And like in your case, it'd be like 12 donuts or something.
Yeah, and then you shock your body, right? Yeah. My gosh, yeah, because bodybuilders, man, I respect them. Like, that's their sport, and that's what they do. But it's not something that I want to do, and I don't advocate that, you know. So, because I just want humans should be healthy, you know, be able to function, eat what you want, but like within reasons, you know. You can't just people say, oh, KFC. Like, I've had KFC once, bro. But I used to love their potato gravy when I was hungover. But I remember eating KFC chicken once and I was like, what the fuck is this? I can't do oil. Like, I can't do oil. Every time I have oil or deep fried stuff, I just get a headache, or like, you know, my body just doesn't take it well.
It's seriously not good for you, right?
Yeah.
I do wonder though with KFC. I don't eat KFC either, but I swear they cook their chicken in pressure cookers.
Oh.
But I don't know how they make it, but do you still tip oil all over the chicken and then pressure cook it? I don't know.
Oh,
but I
where
don't
did
think
you hear this?
Well, back in Moby's, like they had a huge pressure cooker, and I don't know. I don't actually know where I heard it, but I just heard that they cook massive batches of chicken in big pressure cookers. So, but then if you see a KFC chicken, it's smothered in oil.
Yeah, and it's like the adverts, bro. They just drop the chicken, it bounces 3 times. I'm like, bro. Yeah,
that is not how it looks.
Yeah. 100%.
Well, it's even like Macca's, bro. Their ads, their burgers look perfect. Yeah, like the ingredients drop one by one. But then you get a Macca's burger, and it's like, what the fuck?
That's like Domino's adverts. They, you know, pick the slice up, and then you see this cheese attached. It's not actually cheese; it's glue.
No way.
Yeah, bro. It's insane. I saw one of those commercials, and I was like, what? So we've been lied to. Like, it's not cheese, it's glue. Like, oh, that's how they do it.
The tricks, eh?
Yeah, man.
It's just marketing. You did a little stint working at Domino's, did you?
Yes, 1 month.
1 month, oh, true. It didn't last very long.
It was, they were so racist to me, man. It was too much. They just picked on me for everything, and I just needed a new job. It just wasn't my jam. I wasn't taking it. At that point in my life, I was just like, I'm going to stand up for myself. I don't want to do.
Did you tell them fuck you and leave, or did you just resign?
For that one, I just left, resigned. But the fuck you job was she was being a bitch. Yeah, this was
that at a cafe or somewhere?
Yeah, man. So when obviously we got let go because our hotel shut down because of earthquake, and I had to look for a job. So my mate was working at this cafe, and he was a team leader or manager there. He was like, "Oh, bro, we've got a job over here if you would like to work." And I love making coffees. And I was like, "Oh, perfect. I would love to work at a cafe." Went there, and there was this chick, just manager apparently, but she's been there for a while. Obviously wants to be a manager, but she really likes to bully people. And my first day, she was like, "Okay, this person's a regular. This guy's having this," and I'm taking so much in at this point, and I was like, "Okay, whatever. Okay, he's having this coffee. Okay," gave it to him. And then on the third day, like second day, still bullies me. I'm like, "Fuck this lady's a bitch." Like, I'm thinking, what the hell?
She's not giving me a break.
Yeah, and then day 3, bro. And I just wasn't vibing with the place, wasn't vibing with the people around it. I was like, this is a little bit of a toxic environment sort of thing. People are just here to pay their bills. And then she's like, oh, John or someone is here. Can you make his coffee? I was like, oh, not a problem. What's his coffee again? She's like, you don't know John's coffee? Like, he's a regular, la la la. And I was thinking, just tell me what the coffee is and I will make it. You know?
This is your third day.
Third day. And she's like, you don't know, like, kept yelling at me. Bro, there's a line waiting. People waiting for coffee. And this guy's sitting here. And I was like, really nicely, I was like, just tell me what the coffee is and I'll make it and I'll give it. No, I'm not going to tell you. You got to find out yourself. I had the handle of the coffee handle. I smashed the shit out of the coffee handle on the bench, took my apron off. I looked at her and I said, fuck you, bitch. And I just walked out. I just felt so good doing that. I just felt so good because I was like, I was a shy kid that let people run over me sort of thing. And at that point, I was like, I'm not taking this, man. I'm done. Like, at that point, I walked out and I realized I don't have a job. I rang my dad. I remember I rang my dad and I was like, this is me being me. I was like, I'm letting them down. You know, I'm letting my parents down. I should be working. Even if it's hard, I should be working here. And I rang my dad and I said, this is what I did. Like, I'm so sorry. Like, I don't have a job anymore. And he said, don't worry. Like, if they don't treat you right, don't worry. Like,
Yeah,
we've
good
always
on
got
you
your
for
back.
standing up for yourself.
Yeah. And when he said that, bro, I was like, got so much more confident. I was like, yep, he's got my back. He knows what it's like. He's obviously been treated like that in his past. So he realizes that I do stand up for myself. And since then, I'm like, I will always stand up for myself. If there's something not right, I would always say, no, I'm not taking that. Yeah.
Well, that's good. That's how you have to live your life. You have to have morals, right? And like,
Yeah, man.
you have to live up to them and be true to yourself as well. I reckon so many people dream of doing what you did. So many people, bro, just live the average life, have a boss that they hate, you know, have those shower thoughts of like, fuck, I should have said this or I should have said that. But it's like, you actually did it.
Yeah, and it felt good. It felt good. Like, you just weight off your shoulder. And then things work out, man. You may think you're in a dark hole, you know, oh, no, I have nothing. I remember walking on the waterfront thinking, what now? Like, do I go back? Do I ring them and say sorry? Like, I was like, there's no way you're going back, bro.
But everything works out, right? I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
What happened after that?
After that, I got offered a job at a hotel that my ex-manager used to work. So he used to work at this hotel. Then he offered me to this hotel, and then I went there. That was a miserable time, man. I was so depressed because I worked night shift and my partner at the time worked mornings and we just never would align. She didn't like her job. I didn't like my job. And that's when I made the move. I said, I'm actually sick of living this life. I wanna go to Oz, you know. And that's when we moved to Oz. And I don't know why I made that move because I had $400 in my account and I thought I was gonna start a life in Oz, you know.
True.
I remember, man, getting to Oz and like speaking on the topic of like everything works out. Moving to Oz, didn't have a job. My ex-partner had a job, but now we have to look for a place, and I have to look for a job. And I remember, man, in the middle of the city, like I stood there, everyone in their suits walking around, every like lunch
This
break.
is in Melbourne.
Melbourne, yeah, and looked up at the buildings, high buildings, and I was like, oh, have I made the right decision? Fuck, I'm gonna run out of money, and I'm gonna have to go back. Will I have to call my parents to like pay for my flight back? Like, what the hell? Like all this stuff, man. And like a week went by, no jobs. Like I've done interviews, no jobs, and I was like, oh no, this is not happening. Like this. And then I remember my ex-partner at the time, she was like, I'll pay for everything, it's fine. I was like, and I don't like relying on anyone. Doesn't matter, like money wise, I always like to do things by myself. Even when I struggle, I'll be like, okay, I'll get a loan. Or like, never have I taken a loan out. But that was one point when I thought, oh, maybe I'll need a loan.
Yeah, like you'd rather take a loan from the bank than from a person.
Yeah, man. But yeah, then got a job, found a house. Everything worked out. Everything worked out. But at that point, I was like, life's ending. Everything's caving up on me. And I feel like the center of attention. Everyone's looking at me. But no one's looking at you, man. Like, everyone's got their own shit going on, but no one really looks at you, but yeah.
Well, those moments, Monty was actually messaging me this week, those moments are so temporary, like those emotions you have, especially like when people experience very low moments in their life. It's like they think that it's just going to last forever, but it's just temporary. Same as if you have a super happy moment, right?
Yeah.
It's like it's going to come to an end at some stage. Or if you're in a bad moment, it's like it's going to get better. You just like really have to get through those moments. And that's when you need good friends and family as well, that if you see someone like in that rut, you need to help them get through just to back to baseline.
Yeah. It's hard to recognize that. Like, I feel like I go through times like that, like dark moments, but I don't share it. I like to keep to myself. I'm like, people have other lives. Like, it's good, like at work, I feel like I can share stuff. I can be myself. I can share stuff with people. And it's a comfortable place. Whereas I can only imagine that there's some jobs that I've been to, I couldn't. I had to be happy. Like, it's hospitality, You have to put a smile on your face. Hello, ma'am. Hello, sir.
In front of people.
Yeah, and then, bro, you're battling with other things, and you're like, I can't do this anymore, sort of thing, But you just have to show up. Yeah, man. Yeah. So,
how do you find your job at the moment, selling? Do you find it's the same? Like sometimes, yeah, like obviously if you're selling to a customer at the gym, you have to be like that happy guy that's selling them the lifestyle.
Yeah, but I don't see it as that. Like, I don't see my job as selling. I see as I'm making a new friend. Like, whoever comes in, sits in that chair, I want to find out about their life. I want to know where they came from. Because fitness industry is so big. Like, everyone has different interests. Everyone has different workout styles, different life. People travel a lot. Like, especially working in the city, people from UK and Europe, like lots of them from Europe. Different lifestyles, man. What brings you here? What brings you to Wellington? Why Wellington? All the way from there. What's a beautiful place? Like, I want to travel nature and do this and do that. Or what made you do this? Just break up, or things didn't work out, or job was shit. Like, you find out so many things, and you can relate.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, everyone has a story, right? And most people's stories are pretty interesting too, if you really want to listen.
Yes. And people struggle to open up because they're like so scared. First of all, they stepped in the gym, and they're scared of the gym. Like, gym is a crazy place. Like, you feel like you're getting judged, but you're not. Everyone's about themselves. Like, they come in, they look at the mirror, they get their workout done, they're gone. But they just think they're the center of attention. Am I doing something wrong? People are watching me. But it's not the case. But yeah, man, like the stories that you hear, like, oh, I'm doing backpacking around here, and then I ended up in Wellington, like, oh, I want to do the same. Like, what did you do here? What did you do there? And you learn so many different things. That's the part that I enjoy about my job. But other than that, like, things get repetitive, all this other stuff. But as soon as I see a new person, I'm like, oh my gosh, what's your story? So that's what gets me excited. And I think, because if you think of it as a selling thing, I want to sell this person a gym membership.
People see through it.
Yes. We're not born yesterday, man. We know when someone is actually trying to sell for something, or someone is genuinely interested about your story. I think that's a big part of sales as well. Like, you can tell when someone's trying to sell and genuine.
I fully agree. And that's when I would tell people, like, you might have to give them the harsh word, but maybe selling isn't for you. Because if you aren't genuinely interested in people, then they do see through it. And like I'm a sales rep as well, different industry, but it's the same thing. It's like relationship building. Yeah. I'm sure if you sat down and spoke to someone for a whole hour about their life, blah, 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 you're vibing, they'll probably be like, oh, this guy's the man. This gym's cool. I'm signing up.
Yeah.
Boom. You just did your job.
Yeah.
Without even trying.
Yeah. I guess that's the part of it, building rapport, and people just go, it's such a, sales thing have this like structure, do needs analysis, do this. No, bro, just be a human. People are here, connect. Just be natural and connect with people.
Yeah.
Did I ask them this question about the needs and how many times a week do you work out? I worked at a job like that in Melbourne, Fitness First. You have to ask these qualifying questions. You actually missed that question. What, you want me to go back to it? Bro, I've done this role before. I know how it works. Like, just let me do my thing. And it wasn't, it was like structure. These are the questions that you ask.
You were getting micromanaged.
I was getting definitely micromanaged. And I stood up for our team and I said, this is not a right environment for us to work in. If this is how it is going, we were all ready to quit, sort of thing. We were all ready to walk out. But yeah, we brought it up, and then they sort of realized, and then they let us be free for all, and then we've just kept doing our thing. It's all about connecting with humans, man. Humans know, like, at the end of the day, business, yep, it's business and it's life, like, we want to sell you stuff, yep, you buy it if you trust us. But you're missing the trust process and you're going straight to selling. Build that rapport first, get to know that person, let them open up. People take a while to open up, man. I've had conversations for an hour and a half trying to sell a person a membership because this person was insecure. You sit down, empathize, they open up to you. They slowly open up, and then you go, oh shit, this person's been through that. I don't ever think about selling.
Yeah, well, as a human being, like, if they're telling you an emotional story, like, you shouldn't be like, I'm gonna get them soon. Like, I'm gonna trap them into this membership because they're opening up to me. Like, that's the wrong way to look at it.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, like, it's you. I always say when people walk in the gym, 80% of the time they make their mind up whether they're joining this or not. It's our job to not give them the bad experience. Like, if we give a good service, that adds to that 80%, and then closer, they.
Right. So you're saying 80% of people that come in are willing to sign up?
Yes. Yeah. When they come in, they want to change. They've seen this gym. Why else would you come to the gym?
Yeah, they've made the effort to come and take that first step.
And I remember having conversations. You have some hard conversations, man. Like, I remember this lady came in and she was like, I'm sick of it. Like, it's been a year and a half. I've put it off so much. This. Okay, sweet. No problem. Have you looked at our prices? Yep. I'm ready to join. Okay, sweet. Not a problem. Let's get you started. She's like, oh, wait, but I don't know. Like, and then I just sat down, talked to her about life, and she was like, I just want to lose weight, and I'm unhappy with all the things that I'm doing and all this other stuff. And then she's like, but I'll think about it and I'll come back. And I was like, but you just said you're unhappy with the way you look. You want to change. You're ready for it. How long is it going to take?
Yeah, stop procrastinating.
Yeah, is it going to take you another year and a half, to come back and be at the same point that you are? Whereas in a year and a half, you could be at a point where you want to be. But people hate that, People hate committing to something because they know how much hard work it's going to take, sacrifices, and they don't want to do that. People just want to stay comfortable. Yeah, and it's not a good place to stay.
That's most people's problem with everything in life. Like, you want to start a new business or whatever, you have all these ideas, or like, you want to get into a new sport, but taking action is the main thing you need to do. But it's like, you can spend so much time thinking about it and telling yourself you're going to do it, blah, 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 but it's like, you need to just take action and do it.
Yeah, that's like the hoodie that I got as well, with a lion printed and said, take action.
Oh, is that what it says?
Yeah, man.
Well, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's because I feel like I know how to take action, and I know I want to do this, and I'll do it. Go out and do it. I know it's going to be hard. It's going to be struggle times, but I want to go out and do it. But I know I'm going to come back on the other side happy, Okay, I've either accomplished this or I've failed, and I knew I tried and I failed. Oh, good. Sweet. Next. But I feel like I had it on the back of my hoodie so people can get reminded about it. Take action, man. Like, there's people thinking of these great ideas that they have in mind, or like, I want to quit this job, I want to just do this, I want to go explore. No one takes action.
Yeah, just do it, man.
Struggle. And that's part of me. Like, Nelson trip is going to be my thing of like, I want to take action, do this, put myself in that uncomfortable zone, because I am uncomfortable doing that. Then it might open up, and I might have a great experience, open up something else, And
I also feel like any good thing worth pursuing often involves that level of uncertainty, where you're like, oh, should I do it? Or like, if it was easy, then it wouldn't be fulfilling. Like, if it was something that you just, like, you drink a glass of water, boom, it's I don't forget about it 2 seconds later. But if it's something challenging that you're like, got a bit of anxiety, or that might not be the right word, but this nervous feeling, and then you do it, you always feel proud of yourself for doing it. Like, you accomplished that thing that you didn't want to do. And then surely those just stack on top of each other. And then that, you've got all these things in yourself that, I know I've done this, I know I've done that, I know I've done that. Like, I can do it again.
Yes, yeah. And that's, like uncomfortable positions, right? You put yourself through to do that. Man. Like, Yeah, that's the only way for change. Good change is putting yourself to uncomfortable position, and that's where you find out whether you want to do it or not. The perfect point, like when I was listening to you and Monty talk, and what Daniel Raju told him, I took that on board, and I was like, wow. So nervous and excited are the same feeling. Wow, I was like, now I go whenever I feel nervous, I go, no, I'm actually excited.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, so I'm like, wow, like
it's like a
that's
mental hack.
changes the perspective, like the way you look at things. You go, if you go nervous, you feel like your confidence is like, you know, you're a bit low. You're like, oh, I can't do this. Whereas straight away, I'm excited. Yeah, let's go. Let's do this.
And that's true. Like, you know, you can get shaky if you're nervous, or shaky if you're excited. Like, if you're really excited about something, you're shaky.
Yeah, yeah.
But I sort of had that in my life, I guess, even just doing this podcast. Like, I was quite nervous doing that Monty one because I'd never done it. I mean, he's my mate. We can talk all the time for hours around a campfire. It'd be fine.
Yeah.
But it's like setting up all the equipment. What is it recording? Like, is it going to sound right? I had no idea the first time, you know, and it was like that nervous feeling. But I'm glad I did it. And I've had like mean conversations with many of my friends since then. So it's like, yeah, just take action. Do it. Going back to the thing you said about Domino's, you said they were quite racist. Do you reckon like New Zealand is a racist country? Have you felt much racism since you moved here?
I wouldn't. You know, there were times where kids pick on you for being a certain type, or like you don't belong here. I got given that a lot, but throughout my adulthood, I don't think it was as much. It was more so at school. You know, you don't belong here. You don't even know how to speak our language. Like, what are you doing here? You know, you go back to your country, all this other stuff. So that I bottled that up a lot.
Do you think it was like pure racism, or just you're an easy target?
I would say easy target. Like, it was, yeah. You know, people take it the way they want to take it, but like, I felt racism at Domino's. That was like, I was like, holy crap, you're actually picking on me because I'm different, you know? And I remember one of the person that I saw, I won't mention his name, but oh my gosh, it was so crazy, man. Like, I worked with him and his partner were working together. And I saw them, and when we went out, I saw them in the clubs, and I was like, oh, hey, hi guys, how's it going? Fuck off. Pulls the fingers at me and fuck off. Get out of here. And I was like, wait, what's up? Like, you're good. We literally worked a shift like that evening. But they always told me to do, you know, or do this or do that. No, don't do this. Like, you know, because they just wanted me to do all the dirty shit.
Right.
And I was like, oh, I want to learn how to sauce pizza. And there was like, you have to be really quick on it. And I went on sources one time, and the manager was like, oh, he's actually pretty good. Okay, sweet. Put me there then, because I want to learn. But no, I was like doing dishes or, you know, packing up boxes or whatever it was. Yeah, and then I was like, holy shit, what's happening? Next day I went to work, same thing. And I was like, what's happening? Why am I getting treated differently? These people had a culture, and I was just out. Oh, don't worry about it. Get out, sort of thing.
But he must to do that. That guy must have had some issues in his life. He must have been a cruel, unkind person.
I see him at the gym now, and I'm thinking, I would smash the shit out of you. Like, I'm like, bro, like, but he knows that too, and now he tries to say hi to me, and I'm like, oh yeah, hi, what's up?
Yeah.
But you know what you've done, right? And he probably thought I forgot about it. I didn't. I know exactly who you are. I knew exactly what you did. But yeah,
you just gotta hope, I guess, that he's changed and he's grown from that moment.
Yeah, I mean, he says hi to me. I say hi to him back, but he knows, oh shit, this guy's grown, like, or you know, as tougher or whatever it is. But
is he a Hut City member?
Yeah,
I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. I think I point him out sometimes. I'm like, this guy used to be racist to me, you know, like.
Yeah, well, I guess that's something you wouldn't forget.
Oh yeah, why would you? Like, little things like that you remember, and then
especially it's different too. It's different, like getting bullied in school to like getting racism when you're an adult. It's like there's no excuse really for that when you're an adult. You know, like we talked about before, kids are still figuring out who they are. You know, what's right, what's wrong. But as an adult, it's like, there is no excuse for that.
I think that's their insecurities playing up as well. You know, they have to go through something, like you said, to do that to someone else, to make them feel like a certain way. Bro, like, someone's one decision away to, like, either kill themselves or make their life, sort of thing. You know, people go through so much shit and you don't realize because people don't show it. But you coming out with negative comments like that, man, it's like, oh, you're causing something into someone. That's why whenever I see someone getting to that point or getting treated shit, I would stand up for them.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Like, no way. Because you don't know his life. You're thinking only your life is shit. But no. Everyone has their own shit going on. Be respectful.
And be kind.
Yeah. And it's not hard to be kind. It
No.
doesn't cost you money. You know? Yeah.
And I mean, it's actually fulfilling too. Like, you start being kind. Like, you know, you might be a dark person with demons. Who knows? If you really focus on being kind, you might realize that being kind makes other people happy, which then makes you happy.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's better than just being mean and then getting some weird satisfaction from being mean to someone.
Yeah. Yeah. They think they're tough and heartless and all this stuff.
Mm.
Everyone has emotions, man, but they hide it. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
How's your journey with jiu-jitsu? Just getting into that sort of thing. Do you think you ever make it back?
I was actually talking to someone from workshop. Cedric. I don't know. You probably don't know.
No, I don't know.
Yeah. So he got Luca and someone else joined up at Lesmes Tarnaki, like last week.
In town.
Yeah. And they're training for an MMA fight, apparently. So I was talking to him about it, and just made me feel how much of the community I miss, and sort of like, you know, the thing itself. Like, jiu-jitsu, yeah, it was good, like, but I feel like it's not my priority at the moment, and I have more other things that I use that as like a, you know, mental thing. Like, I feel like going to the gym is like my meditation, and jiu-jitsu, I didn't enjoy it as much as what I did gymming.
Yeah.
But jiu-jitsu was like one way of like learning different things. I wanted to learn different mechanics of like how the body works. So like, if I was to ever get into a situation, how can I get out, or what can I do? But yeah, just having a chat with Cedric, I'm like, I wanna make a comeback. Like, I just wanna come back, train, see how I go, because I did enjoy that, man. Like, like coming with you boys. I think more things I enjoy is actually seeing people and connecting with people. Like, training at Valley BJJ or with Grant, like, I saw you know, I'll be like, oh, Monty and Brad are gonna be there, like, hang out and also learn, you know. So like, if you don't see familiar faces, you're like, oh, I don't really know, but I guess it's a way to meet people and make new friends and make more familiar faces. And the community,
definitely has a healthy social side to it. Like you say, it's a weird one because with combat sports, everyone is on their own journey, but it's like, in a way, you are a team.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You know, well, I feel that anyway at Cage Fight Academy, because we're such a small gym, but it's like we're all brothers, and it's like we are going through the journey together. Even though you get, you know, some trainings where you like get pissed off with someone, you have a hard out like session, but it's like at the end of the day, you are mates.
Yeah. I mean, definitely, I wanna make a comeback. I was looking at their timetable, I think, a few weeks back, and I also asked Monty. I was like, oh, bro, like, I'm looking at coming back. Like, let me know, like, this. But the timetables felt like it just wasn't working out with my schedule.
Right.
But also at the same time, I always think, like, if I really want to do it, I would do it. But it's not my priority. So that's why I say, okay, there's other things that I really want to focus on. I would rather focus on these. Because if it was an excuse for me, I really wanted to do it, and I made an excuse, then I'll be like, nah, fuck off.
And that's fair enough. It's like, it's not for everyone.
Yeah.
And your problem will be, you'll get back into it, and then you'll want to be like the best at it. So then you'll start dedicating all your time.
Yeah.
And then it might lead you down to like away from the gym and away from what you really want to do.
And I think that's what I did as well. When I did do that, I would go home and I would YouTube how to get out of this position, how to get into this position, and then it just became, because I'm so invested, I'm like obsessive mindset of like, I wanna obsess over this. I wanna get this right. You know, what did this do? Like, Monty would teach me something, you would teach me something, and I would go drill that, or like watch this video over and over again. Because I wanted to.
Bro, you got pretty good at your straight foot lock.
Oh yeah,
Like,
yeah.
because we were teaching you that, and then
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure didn't you jump on it with Glenn, the black belt?
Yes. That was the worst mistake I ever made. He smashed me. I was like, oh, I was just pretending as if nothing was happening. And then you boys said, oh, let that leg dangle here and then grab it and sit down. And I did that. And he was so stressed. And I was like, oh my gosh, maybe that's when I remember if I wanted to crank it, I would crank it. But I was like, hold back. Like, this guy's getting stressed out. Hold back. Like, no way. And then when I tried to crank it, he had grabbed my neck and then pulled me closer, so I
And
couldn't.
then it was all over.
Yeah, but then I was like, oh, and then he smashed me after that.
But
I was
also,
no way.
like, as a black belt, and especially as an older person, like, he would be thinking, you're a white belt, and he'd be thinking, this guy's probably just a munter, and he's just jumped on my leg and tried to hurt me.
Yeah.
So it's like, now it's the stage of it's not playful. I'm not giving you anything. Like, I'm not going to risk giving you any little position.
Yeah.
I just know that's that's the same as what I would do if I roll with a white belt. So I'd start off easy, and then if they go for something, it's like, oh fuck, okay.
Yeah.
Depending on the intensity.
And I guess it's like you get caught by surprise too, like, and that's what I was good at doing. I'll be like, oh, I don't know much about it, and then, well, I'm learning so much from you boys, and I'll be like, okay, sweet, this position, okay, this, yeah.
But that is the art of jiu-jitsu. It's like especially when you get to a high level, it's like everyone knows the moves, but it's like, it's disguising it. It's like, I'm going to act like I'm going this way, and then boom, I switch my hip to the other way, and now I'm in a good position, and the person on bottom's like, fuck, I thought he was going left, and then he went right.
Yeah.
When it gets to a high level, it's like that. When it's low level, it's like, more than them, and that they just don't know how you're passing them and stuff like that.
You're always going to win if you know a little bit more than what the other person does, because if the other person doesn't know anything, you're always going to win. Like, you have to win. Like, that's like the first comp I did after 2 weeks of training. I didn't know nothing. And this guy was like 2 years of training, and he just smashed the shit out of me. I remember the last 10 seconds, I was going to lose my lights. Like, I was done. My eyes just went so big, and I was like, oh, this is it. And then I remember looking at the clock and going 7 seconds to go, and I was
counting
like,
down.
shit, I can't get out of this guillotine.
It was a guillotine.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, and then I was like, oh my gosh, like, can't. And I just remember looking at 7 and going, Ronaldo, don't give up.
True.
Don't give up. Like, that, there was a number I was meant to see. Like, don't give up. Yeah, man. And then Monty just smashed him in like 3 seconds. I was like, Monty, make him suffer, bro.
Is that guy from Invercargill? Was it that?
No. This is the guy from Oliver.
Right.
Oliver,
I don't know too many people from that gym, eh?
Yeah, he was such a dick though. It was like this is one of the things that I don't like about some of the people. They have like, all of a sudden they do martial arts. They think they're tough.
Big egos.
Yeah, bro. Like, and then some people, like most people, do MMA and like do martial arts. You don't even know they're doing martial arts, And those are the people that I love,
Yeah, I wonder if it's more of like a white belt thing, like you're just starting to learn some skills. You think you're the man, because like from what I see, most people at those higher belts start to become pretty humble, because they, there's always someone better than you.
Oh, 100%,
no matter what. And like even like, even Khabib talks about it. It's like if he had stayed, even though he's undefeated, like eventually someone's gonna beat him. It's like, you just got to be humble.
Yeah.
But it was cool, man. Like, we went down south and went to Blenheim, competed together.
Yeah.
That was crazy, where I had my final match, and then we were like,
catch a flight
straight to the airport, like almost missed our flight. Yeah, like pretty much had to get the job done quick.
Yeah. You're like, take a medal, take a couple photos, let's go, let's go.
Pretty much, eh?
Yeah.
And I think Monty like went off and stayed in some old prison or something that night.
Bro, Monty's fight that day was insane. Remember, he got caught in a triangle.
Oh yeah,
and we were like, oh my gosh, this was like early, and we were like, oh my gosh, is he done? That I've never seen a comeback. Like, even watching like actual professional fights, never seen a comeback like that.
Yeah,
this
that
guy
was awesome.
like red, like gone, like lights out.
Yeah, it was deep, bro. It was a deep triangle.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, turns around, he's in a triangle.
Yeah.
Holy crap. And then Monty just being Monty. Yeah, let's go.
It was pretty cool, man, because like we were hyped on the side, and the fact that he was in the deep triangle for almost, I swear it was like 2 minutes. He was fine for like 2 minutes. Then they scramble. Then Monty gets him in a triangle, And
That
it's like,
was,
that's an awesome way to
and
finish
he was
it.
like a cocky guy too. Like he was walking around with his top off, like had this like crew behind him,
Yeah.
and he just had he just thought he had Monty, and we also thought he had Monty. Like, but that guy's an animal, man. He
Yeah.
just doesn't give up.
Oh, he is. It's been
Yeah.
cool. It's awesome going through that jiu-jitsu journey with him being like that one step ahead of me, because it's even this week, bro, I went to Steve, from Valley.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
Valley closed down. Steve opened up his own gym.
True.
And Monty taught there. And it's like, he has so much knowledge, man. He's like, it's been so good him teaching me along the way, like even leg locks and stuff. And then I'm learning stuff that my gym isn't learning. And then it's like something that I can go try, and the boys are, they're like, where are you learning this shit from?
True.
Where's-
Where's the gym?
Steve's up in Kelson.
Oh, true.
Yeah. So it was cool, man. Like, I just went there on Thursday night, and Monty ran the training pretty much like our workshop do it, which is game-based drills. So it was like we did half guard, chest-to-chest passing, and pretty much just said, all right, one person starts on top, the other person's on bottom for 5 minutes, and we're just going to drill it 5 minutes, then swap, and the other person. Like, Loki didn't really say anything else, demonstrate. So everyone was just like, okay. And then you just like figure it out, and then you just like stop the timer and be like, so like, what things were you struggling with, or what things did you find were effective? And then I was like, I was struggling with like getting the head position here, and then so he would like run through, okay, this is what you do to do that. Another guy would say, I was struggling him getting his hooks back in, and then he would explain how to do that, and then you do it again, and then it's like, okay, how did that go? And it's like, wow, that 5 minutes was way better.
Yeah.
So yeah, we did that for an hour, and then the last 30 minutes we just rolled.
Oh wow.
So had a mean roll with Monty because 5 minutes of
course.
panting at
You
the
too.
end. It was cool. But yeah, that was a cool experience. Like even when we're down in Invercargill, we're like practicing K guard. You as like a fresh white belt,
Yeah.
learning all the tricks.
Yeah. Learning all. Yeah. That was insane. Eh?
I still go down and train in like an Invercargill on my travels, and that guy that you competed against, I think his name was Monty too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's still training. So
Yeah,
it's cool.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
cool to see those guys still going for it.
Well, that guy went through a lot of like mental stuff as well. Like, yeah, I was chatting to him like this was like maybe last year or something, and he went through a lot. And then he made a comeback. And so proud of him. Like, I think he did MMA as well, like kickboxing.
Oh,
MMA.
awesome.
Yeah, man. He's training in MMA now. Yeah,
And
that
that-
was an animal.
True, I should chat to him then, because I go train at the gym, but I've never really chatted to him. But maybe I should.
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
Yeah.
He is a nice guy.
And that guy that Monty faced, I sort of know him, but he's actually a nice guy too. I think
really?
he has his own gym now.
Oh shit.
Yeah. And
What's his name? Oscar.
nah, it's not Oscar. It's slipping my
Oliver.
mind.
No, Connor.
Nah.
I think
Maybe.
it was Connor.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Monty's
If you
gonna
ask
be
Monty.
Monty's gonna be listening to this guy and start shouting.
I think it's
at me
Connor,
in
yeah.
I don't know if it's Connor, but it's yeah, he's a good bloke,
Okay.
and he has his own gym now in Christchurch. I go train at another gym where he used to train at,
True.
but Monty's had some mean battles with him even in their like purple belt, brown belt days at stealth grappling and stuff. What's your plans for the next 5 years, Anu? Where do you see yourself?
Oh, that's a big question. I don't really know. At the moment, like I've been going through this journey of like finding myself, sort of thing. Feel a little bit lost of like what's happened in the last year. A lot has happened through the last year, and I feel like I've always been a person thinking about the next 5 years and always planning and having, okay, year one, I want to do this. Year two, I want to do this. But I feel like at this point in my life, I haven't thought that far. I think of like there's little things that I really want to achieve this year. Next year, I want to do this. 5 years and at some point, life could be so different to what I planned. And I'm the type of person, if things don't go as planned, I go, oh, what was that? What happened there? And then you just get caught off guard and you go, I'm not too sure. But this year, I really want to focus on investing. Focus on journey on investing, have a better, future for my family, for when I do have a family.
When you say investing, are you talking like actual like foreign exchange or whatever you're doing, or just?
No, so like saving up money, investing into a house, rental property, and then just planning more for the future. I feel like You know, there's two minds. There's always two minds speaking to me. One going, okay, you need to be doing this. One going this. It's like positive, negative, like devil and angel, you know. But I always go, I want to plan for the future. But I get so caught up planning for the future that I forget to live in the moment. And that's what I'm trying to work on, is like living in the moment and being present now.
That fine balance, eh?
Yeah. So I know I'm good, like in terms of finance wise and thinking of that. But in terms of life, I feel like I just want to go free flow at the moment. You know, I just want to see where life takes me, go with different experiences, do things outside my comfort zone, try new things. Like I'm looking at becoming a cycle instructor. And that's something new. I've enjoyed it all the time, but I always hate being the center of attention. And if you're at the front teaching a class, you're always that person.
Yeah, all eyes on you.
Everyone looks at you. Everyone wants you to say what you're going to say, and then you got to motivate these people and all this other stuff. But my body language is so different. I'm such a shy person when I get out at the front, lights on you, boom. But once you start working out, I'm a different person. It's like almost you have to put an act on, you know, to be the certain person to push people to work out. So really want to focus on that. Travel a little bit more as well. I don't know, I've been thinking of doing a South America trip next year.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. I want to really go to Peru. But people I've been talking to that have gone there, they're like, something that scares me is doing it by myself. And I think this little trip is going to open up a lot of doors for me.
It's great practice, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah. So in terms of 5 years, I haven't really thought that far. I feel like I find myself comparing a lot, you know, to people. I go, I'm not here. I was supposed to be here. I made a plan, and that's what puts me down a lot, because my 5-year plan was a lot different, and it was going as per plan until last year. You know, and then now I was like, wait, it was 3 year, on the 3rd year I was supposed to do this. Now it's done. Now I need another 5-year plan. So in that way, I'm thinking, okay, maybe just forget about it. Do things as they come, but also challenge your way in terms of trying different things and doing something that you thought you never would do otherwise, you know? So, yeah.
It's definitely hard finding that balance, because I reckon me and you have the same mindset. And say someone like, well, I won't even say names, but say someone that's a bit more free-spirited they're probably a lot better at living in the moment, but obviously not as good for planning for the future, even financially, like just spending all your money week to week. I know that's not how you live, but it's like they're so happy with the moment, but then they got nothing for the future.
Yeah.
But I know me and you think quite the opposite. It's like we always have money saved, and it's like you're thinking for the future, but maybe not as good as living in the moment. So I think that's cool. That South Island adventure should definitely help you. You just try and be in the moment while you're doing it.
That's exactly what I want. Yeah. I think I've been stressing too much about the future, you know, like, and having like anxious. I feel real anxious because I'm worrying about the things that don't matter, because I don't even know if it's gonna happen or not, you know. So it's like, why am I worrying about that? Like, breathe, man. Like, just look, you know, look around you, experience the things around you. Like, I walk a lot on the waterfront. Like, I walk to work on the waterfront, and like I spend a lot of time by the crane because of Jamie, you know. And then I sit down and I just think, okay, if Jamie was here, life would be so much, you know. He would be enjoying life. He would be doing something different, but he didn't get the opportunity to do that, you know. And he's not with us. But I always go and it's like I'm spending time with him. You know, I just sit down and I look up at the crane and I'm going, oh, like, it's like I'm talking to him, you know. And it just makes me so happy knowing there's him there. Like, I just feel like he's there.
And like, you know, he seemed like the type of person that really lived in the present. So, and that's a classic example, is like, you never know when your last day is going to be. So you can't go over the top with thinking 5 years, and you might not even be here in 5 years.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah, man. Like little things. I look at the ocean, enjoy the sunrise, walking in the moment. I do lots of walks. Like, I'll just pop out for 10 minutes and I'll just go walk by the waterfront.
I reckon that's so healthy when you're in an office job or any job where you're stuck inside. Like, you need to go out and get some sunlight. It
Yeah,
definitely
man.
does a lot for your mental health.
Yeah. That's good, man. Yeah. 5 years, who knows? I'll look back at this 5 years and then be like, oh,
Yeah,
I'm here now.
I never would have thought.
Yeah. Look what happened now, you know?
Well,
Yeah.
we can do another one in 5 years' time.
Yeah, man. 100%.
Last thing I just wanted to ask you about is, how's your whoop strap going?
Oh, I love it, man. I love it. I need to follow more up on my sleep. That's the main reason why I got it. But the stats itself, I look back at it and I go, okay, sweet. Now, main reason why I got it because of sleep, because I don't really sleep well. Like, my sister goes, what the hell? Like, if I was ever to pick up one hobby, I'll pick up sleeping. That's what she says. But I can't ever sleep. As soon as I would be so tired, I'll get so close to bedtime and I don't want to sleep. I will just put it off.
Why do you think it is? Do you like thoughts going through your head or?
Yeah, I have a lot of thoughts going through my head. Like, I feel real anxious. Like, I feel like I don't want to sleep. I would rather do an intense workout than sleep, because I feel like, yeah, if humans didn't need to sleep, I would never sleep. I would never sleep. I would just be doing something else. But
So it's like shutting your mind off is your issue.
yes, yeah. I always think, like, last night I woke up at like 3 a.m., and I just went to the lounge, had a glass of water, came back, but couldn't sleep. Like, I just couldn't sleep before that either. So I was like, what am I actually doing? Like, I'm closing my eyes and like
You're trying.
in this state. Yeah, like, but I get pissed off because I can't sleep. I'm like, what's going on?
I wonder if meditation will help you, because I have heard that it does. Like, for people that overthink, that they have no time during the day where they sit there and process their thoughts. So then they get to bed and then their mind's like da-da-da-da-da. But if you actually dedicate some time where you are, like, I guess, meditating and getting those thoughts out, I wonder if that'll help you.
Yeah, I do meditate, or like put like a guided meditation on, and that puts me to sleep for a little bit, and then I'm back again, sort of thing. It's like my brain is always working and thinking of different ideas of like, how can I do this better? How can I do that better? What if I do this? This might be a good return on like an investment or this, and like your brain's always thinking of these different ideas, and you're like, you just can't shut down. And at that point, I'm thinking, shut up. Shut up. Like, I just want to sleep, but I just can't, and then shower is like another thing. Like, I love having a shower and spending so long in a shower because this is where my ideas come through. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I can think back on the day, I review, like, I think, okay, this is what, oh, maybe this, like, ideas come through the shower.
I get that for sure too.
Yeah.
I think it's some like mind-numbing tasks where you have to do something. So like, you have to be there, but you don't have to think about it. And that's like the shower. Also for me, it's driving, because like, I have to be doing this. And if I'm not listening to anything, it's like, I don't even need to think about driving. So then it's like, you just think about your thoughts.
Apparently your senses are so heightened when you're in the shower or something.
True.
I heard someone say that.
I wonder why.
I don't know. I have no clue. And why would it be? Like, I wouldn't think so. Like, I'm thinking I'm relaxing, but I wouldn't be like ready for like fight or flight.
Well, maybe as we evolved as humans, potentially that was like the most dangerous time to get attacked by an animal or something,
Maybe. Oh, true.
For sure is when you're driving. People may not think it, but it's like, why do people get so worked up in road rage?
Yeah.
It's like, because everything's heightened.
Yeah.
Like, if someone cuts you off going 100 k's an hour, it's like they could potentially kill you or your family, or like this thing that you've been saving up for 3 years, this car, and they crash into it. But it's like, me and the boys always talk about being in control of your emotions, but then it comes to road rage and it's so hard. It's like someone cuts you off, you're like, fuck you.
Yeah. That's the one thing I wanted to ask you, like control and emotions. And it's like, I feel like, I don't know if it's healthy or not healthy, sort of thing, in a way, because I'm like, okay, sometimes I feel like I want to cry. Sometimes I want to do this. Sometimes I want to do that. But no, as a man, you got to control your emotions. Like, like the stoic mindset sort of thing, to be like, is that really healthy or is it not? Sort of thing. So like, when I came back from that Reiki, but I'm just a chill person. I like chill, but I also get frustrated a lot too, right? Little things I get frustrated about it. And then she said, you're gonna feel all these emotions like in the next few days, and I just want you to act on them. Don't hide it. And I was thinking, no, but I've always hid my emotions, or like, you know, if I feel this way, I'll be like, nah, don't, you know, it's not worth it, because that's what we're supposed to do, right? But when she said that, I was like, so if I get angry, do I get angry and yell?
Yeah,
Or like,
there's definitely like a time and a place. Like, I don't know. I've just heard lots of things. Like I listen to a lot of Jordan Peterson, and he talks about it, and it's like weak men that can't control their emotions are like the school shooters, where it's like they can't control their emotions. They're weak men, and then they go out and they do like something that's just, you know, despicable. Like you just, you know, that's what led them there. I don't know the right answer, but personally, I like to be in control of my emotions.
yeah,
I mean, you're allowed to feel those emotions, but I don't think you should act out all the emotions you feel.
yeah,
Like you say, if you get angry, you act them out. Maybe it goes back to what we were saying, where someone's on the brink and you've just got angry at them and yelled at them. And then they go home and it could be in the last straw, you know? Or you control your emotions. You say something kind.
yeah. Yeah, no, that's a fair point. Yeah, true.
What do you think about it? Have you thought deeply about it after she told you that? Or did you ask her the question, like, if I get angry, what do I do?
I didn't really ask her that. She just said, whatever emotion you feel, sort of go with it, sort of thing. But I was just like, yeah, I'm pretty good with, like, you know, controlling all this other stuff. But when I get frustrated, I will just say it, but depending on who I'm near. You know, I won't say it to a random person, you know, because I know, like, these people don't know me. And I open up to people that I only know. So they know me. If they don't know me, I'm pretty self-controlled. Like, I know how to control my emotion. And yeah.
Maybe she is more angling on the fact of, like, feel all the emotions, like embrace them. But I would think surely you can't act on everything you feel, you know?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, brother. Thank you for coming on.
No.
I've got a little gift for you just to round it up.
Oh, no. What is it? Oh.
We actually we talked about this a while back, so I hope you haven't got one.
No, I have not.
Well, I've got your cast iron pan.
Wow, thank you, bro.
That's all right. They're pretty heavy.
Yeah, holy crap. Oh, finally I have one now.
That's one we saw at work. That'd be good to get rid of the non-stick.
Yeah.
If that's what you're using.
I was telling Dad about this too, because he loves cooking, obviously. And then he was like, "Oh, maybe we'll get a few of those ones." And I was like, "Do you know how heavy they are?"
Yeah. Well, he can test it out now and see. But bro, personally, like, cooks the best steak, cooks the best eggs.
Yeah, man.
You can get it just super hot. Put it in the oven. Like, they're amazing, those things.
No, awesome. Thank you so much, bro. Appreciate it.
It's all good. All right.
Thank you.